Straight arm bar from the closed guard position. Again, working 6 steps as we did with our triangle choke. So number one, actually before we get to the count, we have wrist control. Submission grappling, we can go with elbow control or wrist, MMA, NHB, wrist control to avoid those punches. Okay. So the number one step is we're going to reach across and grab and cup his elbow, okay, keeping wrist control. Pull that arm across center line. Center line will be your chest, your sternum. Number one. Number two, you put your foot to his hip. By doing this, it's going to help trap this arm so we can't pull it back. Okay? We're trying to catch this arm, so we want to trap it and suffocate as much as we can. Number two. By having his foot on the hip, it's going to help me shift off center line. And I want to shift off to where his arm is going. So I'm shifting off this way. This gets me off at 45 degrees. Whenever you're on your back in the guard, your goal is to get off that center line. If I can move off 45 degrees, I have more possibilities to put a submission on or escape or sweep. So that's number two. Number three, I'm going to bring my leg high up on his back, across his shoulder blades or higher. This is going to help me keep him down and keep him balled up. My leg's here, he can posture up off this. He postures up, it's hard to put this submission on. By putting it here, it's harder for him to posture up. Number four, I'm going to take my free hand, because I'm going to keep this elbow, my free hand, and grab his trap. I'm not just putting my hand there, I'm grabbing it to keep him down. What this will help is to keep him, again, balled up. So if he tries to posture up, I keep him right back in here. Number five, I swing my leg over. In this case, I'm not going to cross my feet. Okay? Some people will teach you to cross your feet, that's fine. We're not going to cross our feet. So we want to use this leg to kind of earthquake him to the ground or shimmy the ground if we have to. Puts a lot of pressure on his neck. Harder for him to stack us. If he does stack me, I then cross my feet, widen my legs, and put them right back down. Okay? But for now, we're just going to keep our legs parallel and not cross them. Last step of this is I hug this arm, and then I hip up, and then I put that lock on and manipulate the elbow joint. It's crucial when you're putting the lock on, you have his elbow on your pelvic bone, or if you have a groin protector on, you put it on there, pelvic bone, or sometimes you can even use your fist. So again, wrist control, number one, pull the arm across. 2, foot to the hip, keep his arm trapped. 3, leg over his shoulder blades as you get off at 45 degrees. 4, you grab his trap. Not only it helps keeping him down, but if I want to try to swing my leg over, he heads down. To block my leg from getting over, I forearm into him, which creates space for my leg to come over, which is number 5. I hug his arm tight, and I hip up for number 6, and I manipulate that elbow and put the submission. So wrist control, number 1, pull the arm across. 2, foot to the hip, get off center line, 45 degrees. 3, leg over his high of his back. 4, grab his trap. 5, leg over, don't cross your feet. Lots of pressure on his head and his neck. And then the last step is I hug his arm with his thumb facing up. So then his elbow joint is right on my pelvic bone or my groin protector. And then I hip up and finish the submission. It's a 6-count arm bar from the closed guard position.